Wait, hold on. A little story first. We were kind of giving up the characters, and we both really wanted to talk about Mello. So we had to sacrifice, and we had to split him in half. Go first. Alright, I'll start. So we have Mello, number 2. And he's a really interesting character. I kind of found him fascinating when he was first introduced because he was really different from L. As we see through his character, he's not, emotionless. He comes off as, very hothead. That's good, hothead brash. He will let his emotions get the better of him because he suffers from an inferiority complex, as quite a lot of the characters do. There's something I realized last night when I was flipping through the lovely How to Read book. A lot of the characters, they're either strong-willed, obsessive, or they suffer from an inferiority complex. That's kind of our 3 main character descriptions of all of them. But with Mello, he will do whatever necessary to accomplish his goals. He's kind of like Raito in that factor. He will sacrifice whoever, it doesn't matter, as long as he can be number 1. He can get his way.
Does anyone want to say anything about that? Because a big theme in this anime is like sacrifice. Because like slightly mentioned Raito for a second. Raito, L, and Mello are all willing to sacrifice people. And so like to determine who is like good and like bad is very complicated. Yeah, if you guys want to come up like a little bit, if you have something to say, just form a line or something. Microphone or wireless.
I'm wondering, do you think Mel valued Matt's friendship, or did he mostly did it to
With Matt, he's a very popular character for like 3 scenes. So with Matt, so much is left to be desired, and I think that's why he's so popular. Personally, I like to think they're friends, but I also kind of think, we're talking about Matt, this is my interpretation of his character. He kind of just goes along with Mello because he's number 3. He knows he's never going to be number 1. So it's kind of just, I'll just go along for the ride kind of thing.
I would see it as a very brief part in the anime, but I would say it's more like because they're friends, like the way Matt died, he's just like more willing to go with, not in a passive way, but just willing to help Mello with what he wanted because Mello was so passionate about getting Raito back. Kira, Raito. Raito sounds good. Yeah, does anyone else know that? No?
Well, it specifically said in How to Read that the reason Mello regretted Matt dying is because, unlike Light, he does care about people and he's not truly evil. And he wasn't even going, he said to Soichiro, he's like, I'm not going to kill you. I don't want to have to. So he does try to pull off sacrifices, and so I don't think he's all that bad.
You said the giant E word.
Exactly. That's what truly evil. Does anyone want to try and define what good and evil would be in depth now?
Because I can't.
Everyone really wants to come on. Y'all in the front, you know you want to get on this.
Let's see if we can get someone new.
Okay. So, if you're discussing good and evil, you have to...
Talk to that.
People. Anyway, if you're discussing good and evil, you have to think of what's good and evil with regards to the character's moral standpoints. Like, let's take Mello, where they just said that Mello wasn't willing to sacrifice his friend. Well, for Mello, sacrificing his friend would be evil, but sacrificing everybody else would be good. For Light, sacrificing anybody who falls under the definition of evil, which would be what, criminal, and anybody who's broken the law, would be evil, which changes the definition of good and evil from the classic definition, which is like, oh my God, I've committed a crime, to blah, 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 to whatever's justified by the character. So you get into things like, anybody here taking a philosophy class?
more or less.
Do you guys know what Kant's categorical imperative is?
Sort of.
Sort of. Okay, well,
It's been a while.
the categorical imperative is basically the one rule that you follow without exception, and anything that deviates from that rule is evil. So each character has its own categorical imperative. So whatever deviation from that imperative is evil, and whatever deviation or whatever follows that imperative is good. So say light's imperative is to punish criminals. Anybody breaks the law is evil. There you go.
Very good. Are you a philosophy major?
Yes.
You know what? You probably are better able to talk about
You
this.
should have like helped us with our demo.
I'm an English major, so I do character analysis.
Okay, now you defined the term, but do you think the characters were static? Because I think they changed their criteria for good and like evil or good and bad. Didn't stay the same. And like,
Well, light's categorical. Light, you might want to say that light didn't really change with regards to good or evil because his whole decision was to make the world a better place by eliminating criminals. So, anybody who got in his way was not evil act.
I feel like we're jumping to Roger too early.
Because it's easier to define light.
Right. With him though, I think originally, probably sounded bad, but originally he kind of had the right idea on paper. Again, like,
One of those road to hell paved good intentions.
I knew you were going to bring that up. I was waiting for the thing.
yeah, it's like his idea is like, okay, we eliminate criminals, the world will be perfect. And, you know, I'm going to be in charge because I'm perfect. But that mentality was compromised as soon as he killed the FBI agents. Because they were not criminals, they were just trying to find him. And he didn't like that, so that's kind of when he changed, and he was willing to sacrifice the innocent for his main goal. Because even then, when his sister was kidnapped, he was thinking, I might have to kill her. And then same thing with his father. So he will be willing to sacrifice his own family to save himself.
Well, the whole question about good and evil, you have to simply ask yourself, what is the point, break point between each other? Because you can say, okay then, you're evil and you break the law. But what if there's a reason for you breaking the law, which will not constitute evil entirely? You get me? Yeah, I understand he did a good, thing for killing out shitload of criminals, but I'm saying, was it really a good choice? You get me? Does it really make you being a good person by killing a bunch of criminals than just letting it, God's way doing it?
I like how we started off with Mo and now we're discussing life.
Okay, you can say, yeah, I'm a righteous man. I'm killing all these criminals. Or are you really good? You get me? Isn't that one of humanity killing each other? So technically you are evil even though through the eyes of other people you're good.
Or through your own eyes. That's why
That too.
the series I kind of fell in love with was it's an entire gray area. I think there's some more.
I was going to say, I don't quite agree with it looking all right on paper, only because, like, peace through a certain kind of ruthless tyranny is always doomed to fail. I mean, if you're going to reduce crime, that means everything should come more organically, if that's truly your plan.